Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to this episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It is Foreign's the foodie.
And we are back with another episode. Welcome.
Whew. Yeah, we did not have an episode because I had a chest infection, but I'm better now. But there might be a cough here and there.
Praise God. We thank God for health.
Thank God for health and breathing, child. Health and breathing.
What are we doing today?
We are covering...
Oh, sorry, before that, I'm drinking...
Okay.
Just apple juice. Nothing special.
I actually thought it was like kombucha or something.
No, my kombucha, actually, I can't drink it until tomorrow because I made it 2 weeks ago, so I have to give it time to ferment. That's why I need to buy another, like, jug thing so that I can, like, have them in rotations.
That's what I was going to say. Like, you need to have your rotation.
Plan. I need to get another one, yeah. But yeah, so it's just apple juice. Sorry to disappoint the people.
It's okay. We'll forgive you. I'm drinking water.
Of course.
As per usual. Stay hydrated. And happy Valentine's to all who celebrate. I don't know. By the time
How do you say like it's a religious ceremony? No, a religious festival.
We might as well be, child. Yeah, because this will come out on the 16th. So those who are fornicating us, I see your roses in the back.
Fornicated.
How cute!
I'm actually trying to keep them alive because you know me and plants and flowers.
Did you cut the stems?
I cut the stem. I removed the leaves from the bottom. I put the food in. I put the thing in. Like I did the things. I did the needful.
Okay, good. Did you do anything
let's see how long they last.
Yesterday?
So we were like, all right, cool. We're gonna make dinner. We're gonna have dinner at home. We're gonna cook. I bought the ingredients, everything, and then it got to like 7:30. And we were like, can't be asked, man. We made Indomie. Yeah. No, we just made Indomie, yeah. And so tonight we're actually going to cook and have like a proper meal.
Okay, so, that's cute.
What about you lots?
We went out for dinner. But
oh yeah, you said you went to an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Was it nice?
It was really nice. But yeah, it was a very lovely day and it was romantic as well.
Well, that's good.
Nice
I know you're a romantic at heart.
I'm a romantic at heart. And
at heart and head and arm and leg.
And most importantly at cooch. So
okay.
He romanced me from this morning, minute I woke up to when I went to sleep. It was very nice.
Look at God. We love to see it.
We love to see it.
We love.
I think all this conversation just to avoid this
stupid documentary. I'm sorry. Do you know what? The documentary is not stupid.
It's my fault.
When you report on stupid things, you birth a stupid thing.
It's basically play stupid games, win a stupid prize.
He played the stupidest of games.
I blame everybody because everybody else but myself, because so many people have spoken about this documentary. Nobody told me, none of the things I heard was how stupid and ridiculous the documentary is.
Yeah, but is the premise itself
subject
not
matter
inherently stupid?
No, because the way it's always framed, it's like you think he's like this nature guy. Kind of, okay, do you know what? The way people talk about him is like Steve Irwin.
I know you're going to say, yeah, I knew you're going to say that, yeah.
I'm not going to lie, that maybe it's because he's dead. That's how people talk about him.
Spoiler alert!
Oh, so sorry. He did.
Have people said the name of the doc? Anyway, they read the title.
Grizzly Man. Okay,
Grizzly Man.
Let me give you a brief synopsis because there's not much to say. This story is about a guy who goes into the wilderness.
His name is Timothy Treadwell. R.I.P.
Timothy Treadwell, who goes into the wilderness to live with bears for like a few months of the year.
No, he goes over the summer.
High season, which is
he goes over the summer. That's what, like some people when it comes to summer, they go on holiday, whatever. For this guy, when it comes to summer, he goes to the woods to live with the bears
because they come out of hibernation
to protect them.
Yeah, but okay. They come out of
listen, I'm just telling them what it's about. I do not say that I agree with his
to protect. Things. What is a man again? You know what though? It's like this thing that if would you rather be attacked see a man in the woods or a bear? And do you know what? Maybe it's good that the two final bosses are fighting each other.
Met.
Yeah,
it's true.
Because what do you think you can? I get it. Like you might be there to protect them against poachers and stuff like that. But even at that,
but how?
How?
My thing is, this is just a blatant case, of
delusions
main
of
character syndrome.
Yeah.
Because why do you think that it's you, Timothy Treadwell, of all the people, only you are the only one that can save the bears?
Not even organization, just him,
just you
alone.
You and your camera,
and your girlfriend.
You can save the bears. From what though?
How many summers does he do this for?
13 is the 13th one that he died.
Well, there you go. See why Americans don't like that number.
Listen,
Yeah, literally, but it's actually amazing that he lasts 13 summers. I would have lasted half.
This
a
is
minute.
what I'm saying. I feel like when you do things, yeah,
You test it and you're like, ooh, I can get
and
away
you
with
get success. You think, oh, okay, it's like when you hand in your project like at 11:59, you go, oh, and I got an A. Okay, next time you hand it at 11:59 and 2 seconds. Oh, I got an A plus. Like you're growing more confident in your abilities. So obviously for 12 years he was fine. Yeah, the Bears loved him. He's naming them. They're his boys. Yeah, like
I don't even know if they loved him. They just probably weren't that hungry that summer.
I think so. I don't know how, because they talk about how he like named them. He has one bear called Mr. Chocolate, yeah. Shout out Phaedra, yeah. And for me, it was like, how do you know that this is Mr. Chocolate? Like, how do you know? I mean, because you've got a cat, yeah.
Oh,
how do you know your cat? No. This is not even. I honestly, genuinely, because to me, like, all dogs don't look the same because there's different breeds of dogs. Same way all humans don't look the same, yeah. But like when there's like a breed of dog, yeah, how can you tell your dog from another dog of that same breed?
So with like my cat, he has, first of all, his personality is very unique.
Unique?
He literally, he's very unique. So you're going to clock his personality from the second you see him. Second of all, I don't know how to explain it, but his face just is different.
I guess if you
And
see
he has
someone
a
every
mark.
single day.
Yeah, and he has like a birthmark as well on his face that I can tell. But like, I just don't know how to explain it. Like, his face to me is unique. Like, he doesn't look like every other cat. Like, and this is
Maybe
me
that's
seeing
what this guy had with the bears.
Yeah, and this is me seeing cats. Another cat that is like similar color. Him and the other cat playing. I can tell you who Aubrey is. Like, you just know. And also, like, you look at the patterns of their like I don't want to say stripes, but they're whatever. If
you've got pets, please leave in the comments.
I'm telling you myself.
No, yeah, but are you the only person with a pet? Maybe other people have other ways that they know.
He has a white belly as well, so his ginger.
Is he the only cat with a white belly?
His ginger doesn't go really to his stomach. I'm telling you, I know that boy inside out.
I think that obviously people can tell their pets
and
apart
he has
because
kind
they can.
eyes. Okay. He has when he looks at you.
Why are you saying, come on? Has he looked at me before?
No, because you see the pictures of him. Come on, look at his eyes. He has those eyes of Puss in Boots when Puss is doing that.
Yeah, and that's all well and good. But all I'm saying is that
cat has those
there's
eyes.
probably a cat out there that I'm not the cat's mum, innit? If I see another cat, I'd be like, oh, that cat is so cute. Look at the Puss in Boot eyes. But because you are the pet's owner, you see. All I'm saying, I say all this to say that Timothy, maybe he also looked at Mr. Chocolate's eyes. Huh?
I don't know what that man was looking at and what he wasn't looking at. Okay, I don't know how he got up that. I don't.
But you just said that you can tell that the animal can have a personality.
Yeah, not a fucking,
and that they
not a fucking bears. What is he like? How was he get? I think he made up a lot of shit he was saying, because how would even? You're not going to get that close to them to know the intricacies of their face.
Oh, he did.
In his 11th hour, or shall we say 13th hour?
Nah, it was just like.
And also, the thing about this documentary in particular, sorry, can I just say, is that they had all these talking heads that, there were like 3 talking heads that really liked him, and they were insane.
Yeah, of course.
And then they had like all the other talking heads hated him. The guy that
they
found
were like,
him,
he's insane.
Yeah, everyone was like, even his friend, the guy, I can't remember his name, the one with dark hair, he kept going on about how Timothy would lie so much and he had a receding hairline. And I was like, that's your dead mate.
I caught the shade about the receding hairline. I saw that one.
I was like, that's your dead mate. Like,
and also, he said that he was an Australian orphan.
This is what I think
that the good, do you know what? I enjoyed the documentary, okay? It was just frustrating, or I would say infuriating to watch, because it was like, this is so dumb, none of this even had to ever happen, kind of thing. But the way they did it, like, it was interesting because it was like, okay, cool. We are seeing a lot of what happened. We're seeing a lot of him, a lot of his thoughts, because he recorded everything.
Yeah.
So this documentary is made up of his recordings from his camera about his life. And then it's a case of like other people like interspersed talking about their like dealings with him or like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and then we met his like ex-girlfriend as well, who I was just like, sis.
I don't think that was really his girlfriend.
Maybe they were just friends.
I think they were just friends and she was trying to elevate herself.
She put 20-10. Yeah. Speaking of girlfriends, so when he died, and he died, do you know what I mean? Like, the bear killed him. Which I think if someone said, oh, a man goes to live with the bears, finish the story, I feel like most of us would say the bear killed him.
I don't even think it's a spoiler alert, because where else would this story be going? Yeah,
the bear killed him. And also his girlfriend who he was with, who this is what really frustrated me, because I was like, sis, like, this is why if you tie your destiny to
Tying your
a useless
destiny
man,
to a useless man, well, it's
like, all over for you.
It's just like
don't cry, don't beg.
Wendy Williams tied her destiny to a useless man, and then she bought a useless son. Like, it's just a whole.
It's peak.
We will cover that documentary when it comes out.
She was with him, and then,
I said we'll cover that documentary when it comes out.
Oh, she was with him, and like with the bears and stuff. He always like made it seem as if he was by himself.
Yeah, which is, first of all, you're weirdo. But I think she also didn't want to be. She didn't want to. She didn't. I feel like after she was. Who would want to be there?
Why
are you going?
She was really I mean, because autonomy. She was really scared of bears, and I think, do you know what it is? I think that you're with someone, you love them, you trust them. They've done this 12 times before. They've been fine. Like, you think, all right, cool, I'm in safe hands. Why you think you'd be in safe hands? Again, all roads lead to who sent you.
Yeah.
All roads lead to who sent you.
What was really sad about the time that they died was that they basically had left. They had finished their season with the bears, and they got to the airport, and then Timothy gets into an argument with some airport worker, and he's like, yeah, I'm not catching this flight, and I'm gonna go back and camp. Logically, anybody with two brain cells to rub together will be like, this is off season now, like, it's not gonna be safe, I'm not familiar with this time,
this is not what you're used to.
Yeah, let me go and stay in a hotel. No, he's like, no, we're gonna go back and camp. She had an interview that she needed to be back for, so she was fuming. You don't need to follow this man back to the pits of hell.
But you were at the airport, so you could have been like, all right, cool, hold tight, I'll see you at home, I'm getting on my flight. Because it's not like I'm holding you down. You're going to stay outside with the bears. I'm sorry. I'm trying to live my life.
Yeah. And it was literally that they were there for a few days, and then it happened. And this particular bear was one that they hadn't seen before. All the other ones had really migrated.
How do we know that they hadn't seen this bear before? This is what I'm saying. This goes back to my original point. How do we know this was some new special bear? Where had this bear been the whole time? It wasn't even a cub. It wasn't like it was just birthed. This was a big bad bear. So where was he hiding?
Do you know who also was weird? This documentary gave mockumentary to me, because not just because of the subject matter, but also because of all the people in it just seemed off. Like, the coroner was really weird.
Yes, he was very bizarre.
Wasn't he playing some weird music as well? Like,
I don't remember the music, but it was weird. It was just bizarre. Oh, and then there was that scene where basically because Timothy recorded everything, he recorded his death. Yeah. So if you can imagine, you are being eaten alive by a bear, and this is being recorded. And then they play the tape. So the ex-girlfriend has the tape. She's never listened to it. She gives it to this guy who's making the documentary to listen to it. He's like, you should destroy this. You should never listen. Oh, so it's after you've listened to it that we should not destroy it. It shouldn't have been. What did you think it was going to sound like? Like, it shouldn't have been.
They should have added that shit into the documentary. You've come this far. Like, we might as well.
I mean, Timothy would have wanted us to hear that. I'm so sure of it.
Yeah.
The
documentarian as well himself was weird.
It was all a bit strange. I think that strange, bizarre, kooky are apt words.
The best way I can describe this documentary is kind of like if you were super high and then you turn on your TV, and I think Adult Swim is Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, but you think you're going to watch normal cartoons, but you end up on Adult Swim and it has all those weird cartoons that they have with all the talking animals, like, and you're like, what the fuck am I watching?
What the hell's going on?
I wasn't sure that I was not high when I was watching this. I know I wasn't high.
And you know what? I watched it on like 1.5, so it was just like
it was like a fever dream. It was like a fever dream. Like,
it was so
those
bizarre.
Dreams you have when you have a really high temperature. It was just bizarre. I couldn't understand what I was watching. It kind of reminded me of, like, I think Michael Scott, you know, when he goes into the forest. Okay,
because this is in my notes. When he goes and he tells the white, oh, don't help me, leave me, let me survive.
I think it was based off of Timothy Treadwell. I think...
No, 100%.
100%.
It has to have been.
100%. Because it was the same vibe. Imagine that scene in The Office being so made ridiculous. Into, like, a full documentary. That's what it was.
Yeah, absolutely. That was literally one of the first things I wrote. It was just a bit like... He was weird, because it wasn't even like just, oh, the bear, like, the bear shat, yeah, and then he picked up the shit and was like, oh, bear poo, the bear is... I was just like...
There's somebody that summarizes it well. It's one of these... Do you know what? There's this guy that rips him to shreds, yeah?
What, the museum guy?
not the museum guy. There's another guy. It's one of the guys that went out to find their like remains. He was like, yeah, like
to me, he was acting like he was working with people wearing bear costumes out there instead of wild animals. Those bears are big and ferocious, and they come equipped to kill you and eat you. And that's just what Treadwell was asking for. He got what he was asking for. He got what he deserved, in my opinion. The tragedy of it was taking the girl with him. I think the only reason that Treadwell lasted as long in the game as he did was that the Bears probably thought there was something wrong with him, like he was mentally retarded or something.
Sorry, that I am using the word that this man used. Do you not remember that scene?
I do remember that. And I was a bit like, oh, but then I remember that this was filmed in like 2007 or something like that. I was like, hearing that word, I was like, oh.
I know, it was very jarring. I was like, oh. But
oh, yeah. But yeah.
No, but honestly,
for real though.
For real.
He's
the guy was harsh, but for real, because that summarizes it. Like they
didn't see him as a threat.
They didn't see him as a threat. They probably thought, this idiot, like what, like you're not someone that's even worth.
They probably were annoyed by him. I was like, oh, go ahead, man. Get off me, like.
Literally, here goes this nigga again. Like another summer, like. That's probably what they were thinking.
They probably called their friends and say, look, get a load of this guy.
Get a load of this guy, literally. And then, I guess, the tipping point was the fact that they were just hungry. There was one day he was in a tent praying for rain. So, it was just...
Oh, yeah, and then it rained and he was like, oh, the gods are here.
And then he was, like, drowning in his own tent, but he didn't care. Because, it was just... I had been so excited to watch this documentary. It keeps coming off and out of like streaming sites. So
but are you not happy that you watched it?
I'm happy that I watched it, but I wish people had been honest. Like the way it's.
But what were people saying about it?
They were talking about it as if it was like a documentary on Steve Irwin. They're like, oh yeah, like the Grizzly Man, he was this naturist. Like the way they were talking about it was.
Oh, they were like hyping him. Maybe that's what they think. Maybe they think that he was.
How can everyone think that? Did we all not watch the same thing?
Do you know what?
Even if you had audio only and not watched the documentary, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, he was a kook. The thing is, he was really meticulous with the whole filmmaking side of things.
Oh my gosh.
And I just feel like
he was Michael Scott. You can't convince 100%. Me Michael 100%. Scott isn't based off of this guy.
I think
Did you see when he went like he would film a bit, then he would go back?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Are you okay?
He's not okay, clearly.
Yeah, no.
But I feel like if maybe someone had channeled his passion, I would say, into something useful, because he really, really believed. And another thing that annoyed me, it was given like white savior complex, because he was like, oh, I'm so amazing, like I do this for free, like God would be so proud of me. And it's just like, I remember listening to this podcast talking about like if anyone can truly be altruistic, like can you really be like selfless? Because in this situation he's saying, oh, I give up my summers and I come here to protect the bears. It's not about me, it's all about the bears. I'm doing this because I'm a good person, blah blah blah. And it's like, in what way are you're documenting the bears? But anyway, it was like, even if that's your point, you're not doing that solely to help the bears. You're doing this for this feeling that it gives you to feel like you're some amazing God, that you've come and saved these bears from what we don't know, how we don't know. What have you done? You literally, if this documentary was, I document bears, I'm just showing their patterns and how they live, like blah blah blah, I'm gonna go back to my house, maybe that would be something.
And you would do it in a way that would be really safe for the like you're not even respecting them, because the nature whatever, the people that conserve conservation people, they basically have guidelines as to how far away you should stay.
Yes,
things
exactly.
You should do. He was in this one-sided beef with these people, ignores them all, does things the way he wants to do. So it's not about these animals. It's not about
at all. It's about him.
It's about him.
And I just know that all winter he just talks about how he does this all summer. Like, it's like, babe, you need something. There's a bit where they talk about how like he started to spiral after he auditioned for a part on Cheers and he didn't get it.
Woody Allen's part.
And I was like...
Not Woody Allen, Woody Harrison, sorry.
Oh, yeah, the guy that's in Thing. And I was just like, babe, like, in life sometimes you get rejected. In life sometimes things don't work out. You have to dust yourself off and try again, okay?
I think what we're dealing with here, though, fundamentally is an undiagnosed personality disorder, and I say this from my armchair, like, I do not think he's all the way, like, 100% there.
Not even 52%, baby.
Right. I say this with respect to for the dead. And I think that's what we're dealing with here. Like, this is just something he's latched onto and has made it like...
Made it his whole thing, yeah.
Right. It could be something. It could have been something else. It's just like, I was watching 90 Day Fiancé, and there's this guy that he donates his sperm to women, and he tries to make it seem like his whole life is around sperm donation.
Yeah.
Right from the things he wears to how he eats to even how he sits, because he doesn't want his balls to overheat. Right. Cool. So like,
not overheat,
he makes it seem like, and he does a lot of the donation through natural methods.
So he's fucking
right. So he makes it seem like he's doing this selfless thing. Like, so he's basically started dating this girl, and she's like, I want you to stop, or even if you're gonna do it, like,
don't do it the same way.
Yeah, like, do it through like artificial insemination. Like, you don't need to sleep with these women. And he's like, no, the natural way is better. There's more success rate. They feel more comfortable. The sperm is fresh. I'm doing this because there are women out there that want to be mothers. And she was like to him, so do you need to fertilize them all? If there are women that want to be mothers, like, there are other means. Must you be Father Abraham?
And
right.
many sons, exactly.
Right. And it's giving the same energy. I feel like people that have these issues, whatever they are, instead of them to channel it into something else, they latch on to something, and then they make it seem like they're these selfless people, but really, like, you're a weirdo.
Yeah, you need it more than they need you.
You need 100%.
Speaking of the sperm thing, have you watched Sperm World?
I thought you were going to say, have I donated sperm or had sperm donated?
I don't know, have you? No.
By one man.
Sperm World is a documentary. It's on Disney Plus, yeah.
That sounds
and
disgusting.
It's basically about this. So it's about men who, well, it follows men who donate sperm to women, but the documentary itself is about how people are skipping the whole like clinic side of things and just going to like basically skipping the middleman and just going to find men who will whatever. So it follows a lot of them, and it's the same thing. Like, I remember watching it, and a lot of them, it's like, you're a fucking weirdo. Like, I get that you're trying to, or maybe it started off as you trying to like maybe help someone out, like, all right, cool, you need some sperm, I've got bear here, have some kind of thing. But I think there's this kind of like ego
100%.
driven motive where it's like, oh yeah, look at me, like I'm doing all this. And especially the ones who are like, because there's one scene, I think it's the opening scene or scene at the beginning or near the beginning, where there's a guy, the donor, and this woman, and so they meet in a motel to basically have sex, to do the thing, right? And so like, he's there already, she comes in, and
what's the quality of the child you're conceiving in a motel? I'm so sorry, yeah, that was bitchy, but I do think,
what are you saying?
I think where you conceive a child, I think it leads...
You're an insane individual.
So,
what are you even...
Wait.
So, okay. Anyway, sorry, let me continue.
No, I'm just saying that if I was going to do it, I would do it in a hotel. I just believe the environment a child is conceived in affects everything.
Affects the outcomes.
100%.
We need to study
half these serial killers, where do you think they were conceived?
I don't know. Do you know?
Most of them, trailer parks, motels.
Are you there?
Half of them come from impoverished...
How do you not know they didn't book a hotel for that night to conceive their child?
Okay, fine.
Anyway, back to my story.
You know, a prophet is never recognised in their own home. That is the problem I face in most spaces I'm in. I'm a prophet, but nobody sees it. But that's okay. When the study comes out...
They were in the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, okay? And then she walks in and he basically goes into like business mode. He's like, okay, cool. So what we're going to do after we do this, you're going to do this, your legs are going to be there.
Yeah,
And she basically is like, hi, like, hello,
Yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? Like, hi, hello, hi, can you greet kind of thing. So it's not like you're looking at this woman who's a woman, a human being with thoughts, with feelings, who clearly is doing this maybe as a last resort. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you're not looking at her like, hey, this is something intimate, this is something that I want to talk to you about, you know, let's maybe build a rapport. There's no care. Exactly. So it's like, how can you claim to be this loving person, this caring person? I'm so helpful, I'm so this, but there's no care in what you're doing. It's so weird. And then there was this other guy, he was kind of old, but he was creepy as hell. And then he
was the sperm giver.
Yeah. He was like in his 60s.
Who wants old sperm?
Thank you. We need to start shaming men more about the age of their sperm in the
quality
same
of
way
your
that they
sperm.
shame women about the age of their eggs, because older sperm is also not as good or viable or whatever the case
Your
is.
sperms are swimming with walking sticks. I don't want that shit.
Not swimming with a walking stick.
Yeah, giving me all the worst of the bunch.
So, but that documentary is really good. I would definitely recommend watching it. It was a really interesting watch, and it was also really like visually, it was nice. Like they really put some time into that.
What do you think? Speaking of, what do you think about surrogacy?
I ask myself this question all the time. I feel like it's so difficult to be like, if you're doing surrogacy because you can't carry a kid, that's fine. But if you're doing surrogacy because you just don't want your body to change, then that's wrong. Because ultimately, surrogacy is surrogacy. Like, you're renting somebody's body. So I kind of feel like, oof, I don't know. The idea of it is a bit like, to me. I'm just like,
Really?
I don't know. Like, I don't know that I would do it. But I just think it's kind of like, oh, babe, like, that's your body. At the same time, it's your body. You can do whatever you want with it. Like, if you decide that you want to be a surrogate, then cool. But I don't think that I would do it.
I just think people have what's the word? I think it's one of the things that people have made into something that it's
like a bigger thing.
Yeah. It's two consenting adults who, like, when you talk to people who are surrogates, they do it for, like, to support other people that can't have kids. And I think
I feel like that's one thing that's actually like I don't know what you get from doing it.
Yeah, because it's different from sperm. Like, with sperm, it's your DNA. So you're building
this is what I'm saying.
Army of your children, yeah, and of your seed. And with men, it's limitless. So that's so scary, because the last thing we need is that more. Anyways, but with surrogacy, it's nothing like it's not your DNA. It's not any. So you're not gaining anything from it.
But I don't think anybody's looking down at the surrogate, like women.
I know,
want
but
to
what
be
I'm
surrogates.
saying is the whole premise of it is that they are being exploited. Basically, that's where this comes from. Is that women who are carrying the baby are being exploited.
Don't have a choice.
Right.
But that's not always the case. I'm sure that is the case sometimes, but I don't think that is always the case.
Like, I think especially like in countries like America and in the UK, like if you telling me Nigeria, I'll be like, fair enough. But in countries like America and the UK, there's so many like layers. I don't even know if it's legal here. I don't know. I can't remember. But let's say America, for example, there's so many layers you have to get to before you can have a surrogate. It's so expensive that it's like, I can't look at that woman who's carrying the baby and be like, oh, she's being exploited. Like, I can't. And also another thing, when people say, oh, like, okay, you had a surrogate because you didn't want to carry the baby. Like, do you know what? Before I used to be like, that is so shallow, that is so this. But I kind of get it. Like,
I understand it.
I get it because a lot of women do want children. I remember Paris Hilton saying that the reason she had surrogates is that she has really, really bad anxiety. And as someone who suffers from anxiety, like, I get it. And she was like, she has such bad anxiety that for her, the thought of being pregnant, especially because she's a bit older, that she just knows she would have been so anxious throughout the whole process, so stressed out, that it wouldn't have been healthy for her or the baby. And then she potentially would probably be dealing with postpartum because she's already got like those she has the predilection or whatever. So, but she wanted to be a mother. So the desire to be a mother was there, but she just knew that the pregnancy probably wouldn't be best for her. And I was just like, yeah, like, that's fine. And even if you say, like, especially like celebrities as well, like, even if you say, okay, you don't want to do it because you don't want to ruin your body, let's not act as if the way they look isn't a big part of how they make their money. Like, look at how we talk about women. Even when Kim Kardashian was pregnant, like, the comments around her pregnancy body and stuff like that. Yeah, in an ideal world, those...
Of course, and then the pressure to snap back. That's always going to be a thing.
And then when the women do snap back, I remember when Victoria Beckham had her babies, I remember vividly when I was younger, the rumours were that she had a tummy tuck straight after she had her cesarean, and people were criticising her for that. I don't even know if that was true, but those were the rumours that were going on.
Especially back then, the tabloids were...
Exactly, fucking The Sun and shit. So, I actually just don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't, and I've become less judgmental about it. I'm just like...
I've become less judgmental about a lot of things as time's gone by, especially when it comes to like adults making adult decisions, yeah? I just think that for me with the surrogacy thing, I don't think that I would do it. But at the same time, that's me speaking from a place of not knowing if I can have kids, not knowing if there would be any complications, not knowing, do you know what I mean?
And
or not having some really deep desire about having kids
that's
anyway.
What I'm saying. You don't know your desire levels right now because it's not at the top of your whatever. You might get to that space.
I got bills to pay.
You might get to that space and be like, do you know what? I really just, I'm not fussed enough about it to take that leap.
Yeah,
or you
and
might...
also it's one of those things where like, not that surrogacy is new, obviously it's been around, but I feel like it's become a lot more popularized or commonplace. Because I remember even Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, when what's her name, Adrian, was her name Adrian or was her husband's Adrian? Anyway, Adrian, if you guys watch Beverly Hills, you know what I'm talking about, the one that's married to Dr. Nasser, who does the botched. Anyway, so there was a scene where Brandy basically said that they had their kids by surrogacy, or something kids. Like that. No, I think maybe they had twins. I don't know, guys. Don't quote me. I don't know. They had a kid, at least one, by surrogacy, but they bleeped it, or they like cut it out in the show. So because I was watching it in retrospect, I was like online, like, oh my God, what is this huge? Because they made such a huge deal out of it. And it literally was just that they had it by surrogacy. So back then, season 1 or 2, whatever it was, of Beverly Hills, it was a huge deal. It was a big taboo. It was like, no, impossible. Now, it's not so much that way. So it's more commonplace. And I would never want, even in Young, Famous and African, that lady had a baby by surrogacy. She's Nigerian. And she was like, I can't remember her name. Anyway, and she basically said that she had a baby by surrogacy in Nigeria. And so it's like, I would never want a woman to think that she doesn't have a right to have a baby. Do you get what I mean?
The thing, yeah.
But I can understand also why people are uncomfortable with the idea of surrogacy.
I can't, but yeah,
I can.
I can't.
It's just like now you're saying that there's so many checks and balances that have to happen before you can have a sperm. Back in the day, before you could have a sperm donor, there were so many checks and balances that had to happen, and now people are just like free sperm for all.
But with surrogacy though, there are so many checks and balances. I mean,
no, I'm not saying there's not so many checks and balances, but I'm saying that's how it started. As in, what could it devolve into is what I'm saying. Because before you had to have all these, you had to go through a clinic, you had to do all these things, and that's when the idea of exploitation could creep in. If someone is like, okay, cool, well, here, do you know what I mean? You're gonna. That's when
Yeah, I get you, but that could be said for anything we.
Of course, exactly. But right now we're talking about the surrogacy.
No, I know.
So that's
it
why
could be said for AI, but I just think that. Yeah.
Oh, like, mate, that one is all over. Yeah, because they've been doing deep fakes for years anyway. Already, they're only going to get better and better. So
I don't know. I just think I don't see. I think people, especially when it comes to women's issues, it's so policed. It's so, because like if it like with sperm donation, there are rumbles and people have conversations about how this is on, but it's not a big topic about how I genuinely think sperm donation is very unethical. I think it's unethical, especially around the fact that it can, for most times, you don't even know who the sperm donor is. So you're having kids, people are sleeping with their relatives and not knowing. How many stories have we heard of that? If anything, for me, though, that's the more problematic.
Would you ever use a sperm donor?
I wouldn't use a sperm donor, I don't know. But I would use a sperm donor.
So it's not the idea of sperm donation that's the problem. It's the idea of like anonymous sperm donation.
What do you call it?
Regulated.
Exactly.
But it was regulated before.
But even when it was regulated, they weren't regulating it enough to stop people from multiple donations at multiple sites.
So there's that other documentary, not the Dr. Father thing one, but there was another one that came out. This guy, what was it called? It came out last year,
Is it the
late
Netflix
last year.
One?
It was on Netflix, yeah.
The one where he has
about that guy
that he has like a YouTube channel.
Yes,
yeah.
Sperm everywhere,
yeah.
And it's like they have checks to be like, hey, listen, you can't donate more than this many times. You can't donate more than this many times in this particular place because of whatever. Like recessive genes, incest, all those sorts of things, yeah. And it's like he still found ways to bypass that because he wanted to. And it's scary because it's the men that are providing the sperm.
Yeah, and they are limitless.
No offense to the men, but a lot of you guys are delinquent, yeah? So it's like, it's scary that you lots have the power to do that.
And that's what I'm saying, that if anything, those are the conversations we should be having with surrogacy. Like, realistically, there are women that can have 10 kids, but most women are not going to have 10 babies.
That's a year, every year.
A year.
They can only do it once a year.
So it's such a small, like the amount of women that actually are surrogates and babies born from surrogacy is so small. Like, and also you put your body through such a toll. Like, would I be a surrogate? I'd be a surrogate for someone I knew. If any of my friends or my siblings was like, I can't carry my own child, but I really.
But would you do that as your first experience of pregnancy? Or would you do it after you've had a kid? Or would
not.
You not mind?
I would want to have a child of my own because you don't know. There are times when you have, like, I've heard of people who've had babies, there've been massive complications and they can't have another one again. So I've actually heard of a lot of women saying, after like a certain amount of kids, like the doctors have advised them that you shouldn't go through pregnancy again. So even with surrogacy, it's so capped. Plus you add into the fact that a lot of surrogates have their own families as well.
Yeah.
So if you've popped out 3 babies of your own, you're probably at best going to do 2 or 3 max for someone else. So again, I think yes, in areas
it's already more restricted or more regulated by nature of like human nature or biology.
Exactly, by biology, and then it's
it,
further restricted by like governments and things like that and regulation. So for me, when I look at it, I'm like, I don't really know who the victim is here. What are we arguing about? Like, as long as it's a loving, and for you to bring out in America, you're looking at upwards of like $100,000 to have a surrogate, because you're going to have to pay them the money, which is about 50-40 grand, and then you pay for all the hospital bills. Then you also have to pay them like maintenance and stuff like that. If that surrogate is not in an environment where they're safe, or that forever, for whatever reason it's not comfortable, you have to make sure they're in a comfortable space, because that's your baby, they're incubating your baby. So you really have to want a child to go through all of that, and you have to be wealthy. So it's not just something any Tom, Dick and Harry can do. Whereas I can literally wake up today and go and buy sperm for dirt cheap. Get home with a turkey baster and inseminate myself. And that guy has impregnated every woman in my building. Like, if anything, that is where the argument should be. I just think people are too judgmental about how women have kids. And this all started because I saw like all the comments about Lily Collins having a baby. And she had a baby.
Who's Lily Collins? Emily in Paris?
No. Yeah. Phil Collins' daughter. She had a baby virus.
It's Phil Collins. Oh, I didn't know that. Is he British? Is Phil Collins British?
Yeah, he is.
So Lily Collins is British?
I think she's American via her mother. Actually,
okay.
Phil Collins British? I think, Phil Collins is British. Apparently he was a player P. I did not know that.
I hear that, because that Cadbury, even the way he was drumming the drums.
But it's so insane
that wasn't him,
to me
was it? Was it him in the advert?
It wasn't him in the advert, but it was his song. It's insane to me.
Okay, but
that's where you know him from.
Yeah, why? What else has he done?
So many things. Tarzan. He was the music in Tarzan. Like, he's done so many things. Like, his music.
But what is he? A musician?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And he's done voice acting, I think, a bit as well.
Love that. Anyway, thank you, Phil Collins.
But yeah, no, people were ripping her to shreds, and I was just like,
we should find a documentary about surrogacy. Actually,
so annoying. I know, but I don't know if I haven't seen anything. But if I do,
we'll find one.
Yeah, we should.
We'll find.
Tell this to my man. Tell about this man.
Oh, Tim. Do you know what? This documentary, I'm not mad at it. I
would not recommend watching.
I wouldn't. I mean, you can. Do you know what? If you want to see clowns in a circus,
hell, why not?
Then why not? Like, why not?
If you want to see furcos flying,
if you want to see, that was a good documentary.
No, that was a good documentary. But they were also clowns.
But they were in the circus, so it made sense.
I guess
they were in the circus. Okay, this one you're in the woods, and who sent you there? Have you ever been camping? You have been camping before. You did Duke of Edinburgh, innit?
Don't talk about it. That was a traumatic time. I think me and Nicole will forever be bonded by that experience.
Well, I'm so glad I didn't go.
You can't go.
At the film club.
You can't go through that and not feel a kinship to the
Were you on your period?
No, I took the period today.
Thank God.
Even I had to fight my dad for my right to get that.
Can you imagine?
Men and women's business.
Literally stay out.
After he forced me to do it, he said, "This is gonna be so good on your CV. It's gonna help you."
Has anyone ever asked you about Duke of Edinburgh? Did they still do that?
Even when I say it to him now, not a single soul in the history of my life has asked me about Duke of Edinburgh. He was like, "Yes, but I don't." Shut up your mouth. I went to boarding school. That was enough. You should not,
bro. This is double trauma. You went to boarding school and you went to Duke of Edinburgh.
Duke of Edinburgh. There was nothing about that. But in fairness, he made all 3 of us do something. My sisters did, was it PGL or something? There was something the equivalent.
What?
PGL, I don't know what it was. They did.
Oh, PGL Parents Get Lost. That was fun though, was it not?
I don't
you have to go, you climb on all those things. And
no, then it's not that. They did the equivalent, but different. It wasn't Duke of Edinburgh.
It was called something else.
Then I think Chimena did Duke of Edinburgh, actually. Can't remember. But all of us had to go through it.
Anyway,
but I went double through it, so that wasn't fair. But yeah, I would not recommend, and I would not make my kids do that shit because it means nothing.
I feel like the world has changed so much that like old rules don't apply to current day. But obviously, as parents, you are trying to set yourself up using the rule book that you used, which worked for you, but it doesn't work for us because everything is different now.
I think I was having this conversation with my husband yesterday, and we were just talking about kids and, you know, how we would raise our kids and stuff. Mm-hmm. And we were just saying that, because he was born and bred in Nigeria, and I was just saying that I'm not going to be the kind of parent where any ideals I have for my child or what I think their life should look like will I impart on them. I will guide them. I will show
as
them
a parent should,
that this is, like, you know, the right way to live life. These are things that can set you up for success, but I'm not going to force you. Like, even with uni, I was having this conversation.
I was just going to ask, would you make your kids go to uni?
No, I would tell them that, look, you know, it's really good for you to have something to fall back on. I'm grateful for the fact that I have a degree, because despite all the other things I wanted to do, that pays my job pays my bills. So I would explain that to them, but I would definitely be very supportive of them pursuing their passions.
And I also feel like it's also because we don't have kids right now. Yeah. So by the time we're even having these conversations with potential kids, we're looking at 20 plus years. Yeah.
Things are so different.
So things will be so different by then. It's like maybe actually you could do a creative career that would pay your bills and is consistent.
If my kid came to
I would lead my kids towards apprenticeship. I can't lie.
That's
yeah,
what I was
no student bills. Yeah, you have no student debt. You've got a skill.
Yeah, I was going to say that if my kids said they wanted to be like a filmmaker, for example, okay, what do we need to do?
Oh my God, I would be so happy.
What programs can we get you on? What internships?
These are the contacts.
What apprenticeships? Like, what can we do to...
Who do I need to know? Who do I need to bribe? Like...
You cannot tell me that, like, okay, Steven Spielberg, all these people that, like, are renowned filmmakers that... uni's what? Nah, like, I'm not gonna, because the time you spend at uni could really set you back.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna.
It will set you back financially at the very least.
Exactly. I'm definitely not gonna force my kids to do that. And I also think that, and he was saying that, yeah, like, he gets, I was even like, oh, like, when it comes to marriage and all these parameters parents have around who you marry, what you're, like, it's not about you. A wedding isn't about you. The marriage is actually not about your parents. It's about you. You have to wake up and live with that person. So if you marry for the approval of your parents, woe betide you, because
hold tight you. I do also feel like there's a cultural element where, you know, when people have weddings and stuff, it's all very about the family. It's all like I remember you saying to me, like, yeah, this wedding is about, it's not about me, it's about my mum, kind of thing.
And for me, that was okay because I am so close to so many of their friends and stuff like that. Whereas my sister has said, I'm having a very small wedding. Like, they don't have the same relationship.
But the thing is, she's also lucky because you had yours, so they got it out of the system. But what I was gonna say was that, like, I find that it kind of becomes repetitive because then it's like, hey, my wedding I gave to my mum. Okay, now my child will have a wedding. That one they're going to give to me. And the cycle doesn't end because then people feel like, okay, cool, now I've earned it. I'm now entitled to your own because my mother was entitled to mine. And that's why it just continues and continues and continues. But I do feel like that sort of stuff is like
dying
ending.
Out.
Like, is it the marriage one or is it the wedding? Like, which one?
Because I just feel like even with my kids, like, obviously my mum said to me so many times, you know, I've prayed so much for this day and I'm so happy, and I get that, especially for my parents, it was an expression of their joy, like, come and celebrate.
And also, yeah, of course, and also feeling like comfortable and happy with the person that you are with, because it's like, now my parents don't see me every day because me and my boyfriend live together, so it's them having to trust that you are with someone who's going to take care of you and who makes you happy, and like, you're fine. Do you know what I mean? And I find that, like, they have a really good relationship because they, like, rate, like, my mum rates the fact that, like, she knows I'm good. She doesn't have to worry about me. Like, she knows I'm fine. Do you get what I mean? So I can only imagine that when it's a wedding situation, you're proud, like, as a parent, you're happy, you're like, wow, like, this is amazing. Everybody come and see. I understand that, but still, I don't want a big wedding because I just don't feel like everyone should have access to me and my love.
And I think, like, and I also think parents need to understand that comes from a place of you maybe not feeling like some of the people that they would want to invite you have an individual relationship with.
Yeah, exactly. That's on you. That's your sister.
Exactly. And that is 100% the thing. Like, for me, I feel no type of way when my kid's getting married, not inviting people that haven't sown into my child's life.
Of course.
Even if you're my friend, you have not sown into my child's life. Nah. But, like, with...
This is so funny because we actually had this conversation yesterday, and it's like, I get that, like, maybe, you know, my mom or his mom might be upset if, like, I don't invite people who they feel are close to them, or we don't invite people who feel are close to them. And I was kind of like... I was like, yeah, because, you know, if I had a child, for example, they didn't invite you, like, that would make me upset. But I was like, but also, why wouldn't they invite you? Because they would fuck with you. Do you get what I mean? My close friends, my girls, like, you would be in their life. They would want you to be there. The same way that, like, when I think about having a wedding, I think about something so small and I can literally name everybody who's there and how they poured into my relationship. everybody there can tell me how we met. Everybody there knows our story.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, you came for Ashrabi and Jollof. Like, can we be serious? Can we? Especially in this economy. Like, it's not even like, oh, just one more person. It's not even that. One more person can be a huge amount of money.
It can be a huge amount of money. Do you know how much it is per person? Please, one more person makes a big difference.
But I do think that even if I had all the money in the world, I would still have a very tiny wedding. It would just be abroad, and I would fly everyone out.
It should be a celebration of just the two, like the two of you with people that are close. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, I literally just think it's nothing to do with my child's wedding. Is nothing to do with me. I would expect they would invite my friends, because the kind of friends I have will be. Yeah, you know,
you'd expect them to invite people who have made an impact in their lives.
They will have an impact.
Made them this person that this person wants to marry.
Yeah,
so.
And that's it. Those are the kind of kids I'm going to raise. But yeah, it's just interesting. Obviously, he was just saying that the reason why parents, especially back home, do certain things is because, don't forget, like, judgment is different here. Like, optically, social standing, all of that thing is different to here. Like, this is a much more accepting and culturally different society. So it was just an interesting conversation. But yeah, my kids' lives, do what you feel is best.
Do what you do, but the one time I will interfere is if you come and tell me you're going to stay in the woods with bears. Yeah. Then I'll say, I'm so sorry. That one, I will not bury you, okay?
That's when you see I can be patient as well. Like, I will not bury my child. So
impossible. So, not like that. Imagine, oh, R.I.P. How did he die?
He got eaten.
Oh, he went by a bear.
And then
who sent him? That will be the response.
About his pureed remains that they found inside the bear's belly.
Guys.
I don't think you're deep in the... Yeah.
Guys. Oh.
Anyways, I've had
R.I.P. and that, do you know what I mean? Also R.I.P. to Steve Irwin.
Yeah, he was a real G.
He was a real G.
He was a real one.
But hey ho, that was the documentary, I guess. Watch it if you want.
At your own risk.
And if you do, let us know. And comment any of the topics we've discussed today. If you have an opinion, comment. Let us know what you're saying. It'd be lovely to know what you think.
Do we even know what we're doing next?
I don't know. You're our scheduler. What are we doing next?
When did I take that job?
Oh, are you not? I thought you was doing that this whole year. You've done it.
Yeah, I thought it was just back and forth. I didn't know it was now.
Oh no, it's only fourth.
I did not know that was part of my job description.
Next week we're not doing an episode anyway because we're taking a break because it's the year of my birth. Oh, not the year, the month, the day of my birth.
Okay, fine.
So we're not doing an episode next week anyway. But afterwards, I'm gonna have to put a trailer at the end of this. So anyway, it'll be a surprise.
Surprise.
Speaking of which, yeah. So someone on Twitter was like to Dionne Warwick. They were explaining it. Well, they were asking her about the concept of like reheating nachos. Yeah. And then I don't remember what the phrasing was, but her response was what? And then someone commented and was like, "Oh, it basically, for example, Cilla Black reheated your nachos," and then she was like, "Oh, okay, I understand it now." And I was just like, I didn't even realize Cilla Black was like a singer like that.
She's not a singer like that. That's just the vocals aren't really that great.
No, but was that her profession at one
point?
Oh
no, she was. I don't even know.
She was a host. No, I just know her from Blind Date.
Yeah, I don't know why she did that. I don't know what the context was. That's another fever dream.
But then what was she before that then? How was she famous?
I don't know. She was just in one of those people that's in the media. I don't know. Okay, to be honest, I don't know enough about her life, but I just know she wasn't a singer. She didn't have I don't think she had like an album. Who did have an album that's a shock is Eddie Murphy. I mean, I always knew Eddie Murphy could sing, but the whole album.
His album?
Yeah, you know that
Have you seen Marvin Sapp doing R&B?
To party all the time.
Is that Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Stop it. Mm-hmm. Wow, it's giving Jamie Foxx.
I know. No, I saw the album cover. I didn't
Mr. Sapp.
I said...
It sounds like gospel.
I said, what are you doing?
It sounds like gospel. No, do you know what? I also asked the same question. And then I said, sometimes the patron saints of the Lord, yeah, they want to groove a little bit, but they don't want to do gospel. So that would be for them. It sounds like gospel though. So it's if there was a choir in every song, it would be a gospel song.
So is it R&B? So what's he singing about?
Just, hold me close,
But is it sexual in nature?
It's not sexual. It's like, so my boyfriend was like, oh yeah, it's giving like PG, yeah.
Oh, like.
But then he was like, oh no, it's not PG. It's universal.
So when they do like Kids Bop, when they
say, yeah, it's like that. But it's like Marvin Sapp can sing and he can write songs, so it was never going to be bad. But I don't think that it fulfilled the brief. Like, it's not really R&B. It's just gospel. It's like gospel light.
But is he singing about God?
No.
So it's R&B then if there's no God.
But aren't there many songs that if you just change he to God, it would be a gospel song? I feel like these are just songs he had in the bank that he was like, oh, let me just release them somehow. He just tweaks a couple of lyrics and then just put it out.
He probably always wanted to release a non-holy, but
but this is he should have come full force.
He's not gonna sit there and sing.
He should have said, "Take it down."
He's not gonna sing between the sheets. Like, what the hell? What the hell?
What the heck?
I'm gonna give it a listen.
It's called If I Were to Make an R&B album. That name alone, I said, sir.
I saw the cover. Yeah.
That's it.
Did he? Okay. I'll listen.
Mr. Sapp never would have made it.
I like. How do you go from that to this? Just sing those songs.
He never should have made it.
Yeah, he never should have made it.
No, but it's good. I don't think Marvin Sapp can make a bad song.
Yeah, but it's just weird.
Anyway,
it's weird.
Listen.
It's kind of like walking in on your parents having sex.
But it's not. It doesn't sound like that.
Yeah, but it's still like this is a space you shouldn't be in.
Okay, I mean, listen to it first, and then you'll see what I mean. Maybe because I think you're imagining an R&B album, and that's not really what it is.
Okay, maybe that's.
It's a gospel album, but he just doesn't say God.
Okay.
But I've only listened to it one time.
But because he's singing about a romantic relationship. Okay, let me just
listen. Just listen to it.
Let me just listen. It's just weird.
Just listen, and then you can form and you can make an informed opinion.
No, because I was feeling itchy, so I didn't listen to it. But I'll just listen. Fine.
Why not, man? Anyway, till next time, which won't be next week. It will be the week after. Mm-hmm. But at least it's a planned break. So, like, you guys can, go do something else. But we are very grateful for you guys, that you listen, that you're here, that the visuals are visualing, hopefully, if editing allows. And you can find us everywhere, 2girls1doc. On TikTok, it's 2girls1doc podcast. And you can email us, 2girls1doc@gmail.com.
Yes.
And that's on that. Anything else you'd like to say to the people then?
No.
Wow, very abrupt. Okay, well, goodbye.
Bye.